Shalom Israel, and welcome to another edition of Yashralah's 20-minute breakdown, where I'll attempt to break down the scriptures within 20 minutes. But first and foremost, as always, you know how we do. We give all praises to Yahweh, Bar Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Waha Rakah Kadash, and the Akams and the elders in the highways and byways pushing this word in truth and sincerity. All praises. And the elder women teaching the younger women. All praises to you too. And the camps and the solo brothers going out there, making videos, edifying the body, pushing the truth according to scriptures. All praises. Now, what I want to touch on today is hell is a condition and not a place. Yeah? Hell is a condition and not a place. Because within the church, and not even just within the Christian church, you hear this about the place where people say, am I going to hell? Or am I going to heaven? They have this concept that heaven is when you go up to the Most High's dwelling, and hell is where you go down into this bottomless pit where there's a devil with horns and a pitchfork, and there's fire, and you're getting prodding and pushing the fire and prod with a pitchfork. That's the kind of concept people got of hell and heaven. But when you read the Bible correctly, you would notice and you would realize that hell is a condition. Like when we were in slavery, and even up to today, we were in hell because that was a condition. We were in servitude, fearing for your life. For the slightest thing, you may get a part of you amputated, or, some kind of serious punishment for the slightest error, and you're subject to payments, and like now we're still in that same condition, only that now we're subject to payments. There's certain things like redlining that restricts us from owning a property in a nice area, unless maybe you might be a so-called prestige person in the public eye or whatever. But the point I'm trying to show you here, hell is a condition. It's the condition you're in, yeah? And we find ourselves constantly in that condition for disobedience through the Most High. The Most High said, keep my commandments and live, and my law as thy apple of thine eye. And if you stray from the commandments, certain, as you read Deuteronomy chapter 28, and when you jump down to verse 15, if we don't adhere to the commandments, certain things is going to befall the Israelites. And when it says that forever, that's until the one, you call Christ, Yahweh Shai, till he returns and rains judgment. And judgment's going to go out on everybody, whether you've kept the commandments and the faith or you haven't. But the difference is, if you have been obedient, now you'll elevate from that condition of hell to rulership in the kingdom. You'll be one of the, you're a prestige person sitting in a chief place. But if you haven't, you're going to be in servitude in a lower state, or, got a chance of that second death, where not only your body is, killed, your soul destroyed as well. Things like that. I just want to give you that, idea to show you that hell is a condition, just like rulership, heaven, that's a condition. Like the Caucasians now, they're in their heaven. They're sitting in the chiefest place, eating the best foods, making all the decisions. Every laws and all that is in this land benefits them. Yeah? They get lighter sentence. They can do a heavier crime and get a lighter sentence, where we can do the least crime and get a heavier sentence, and we have to work twice as hard to lift up our head, even, just above water in this society, because every nation, has it against us. I mean, you've got somebody that, should we say, a so-called black person. I use the word so-called because we ain't black, but nevertheless, you've got a so-called black person that can be working for centuries and not lift up his, and, not being, let's say, thrown a bone. And then you've got somebody, a Caucasian, that can, come from another country, even an East Indian man or whatever, and before you know it, He's got a business loan. Now he's got a business building up his household. Boom, he's just come and he's elevated. We've been here, from slavery. We were the workforce of this kingdom now, but yet we have nothing to show for it. When I say nothing to show for it, we don't own no banks, no businesses, no schools. When I say own, I mean like, even though one of our people, like my people, might like be an owner of a business, you still got to go to the other nations for like your materials or whatever it is that you are selling. You still got to get the okay from that ruling nation of the country you're in. So you're not in a you're never in a win-win state. But that's the point. So with that said, I'm going to start with the book of Lamentations, chapter 2 and verse 1. I'm going to start there just to show you, that's going to be my opening scripture, let's say. And then from there, we're going to go through some scriptures and tell one or two things happen. I either run out of time or I've made my point, whichever happens first. So with that said, I've got my timer and I'm going to start in 3, 2, 1. Boom, we're away. Yes, we are. We're away. I like to make sure the counter start counting down. We're away. Let's go straight to the book of Lamentations, chapter 2 and verse 1, and it reads, Lamentation, chapter 2 and verse 1, and it reads, How has the Lord Yahweh covered the daughter of Zion with a cloud in his anger, and cast down from heaven unto the earth the beauty of Israel, and remembered not his footstool in the day of his anger. Showing you clearly there that the Israelites were in rulership at one point, and they were cast down from heaven, meaning a condition of rulership, down to the earth, down to hell, down to servitude, slavery, and all kind of things now happening to them. Rape, amputations, and anything you can imagine you can do to a human being, it has been done to my people, our people, my people. Yeah? Let me read Lamentations chapter 2 verse 2. Listen to this. Lamentation chapter 2 verse 2. The Lord Yahweh has swallowed up all the habitations of Jacob, and has not pitied. He has thrown down in his wrath the strongholds of the daughter of Judah. He has brought them down to the ground. He has polluted the kingdom and the princes thereof. Showing that the whole 12 tribes, has now, gone down into captivity. The southern kingdom and the northern kingdom, where we had, kings and, princes and priests. Now, when we were taken, stripped us all naked, that didn't matter who you were, they dealt with you harshly, regardlessly, yeah? Now, I'm just going to read a bit from this, it's called Babylon to Timbuktu by Rudolph R. Windsor, an historian and professor and scholar. Now, listen to what he writes. See, the scholars know this for a fact. This is why they call that era when we ruled the Dark Ages, because they don't want to ever let you know that you are somebody. Yeah? Now watch this. This is the book From Babylon to Timbuktu, page 90. And I'm going to just read a snippet from it. Listen to what he says here. The black Jews had an advantage over the African tribes. They carried their culture, history, laws, and written records with them. This assured them a constant precedence for the development of a higher social organization. Because of the stability of the black Jewish culture, the Jews were not absorbed, hear this, the Jews were not absorbed into the audacious population. In fact, the Jews absorbed some of the native tribes. The Jews made use of every opportunity. They were an industrious and skillful people. In the Jewish Ghanaian state were found kings, princes, governors, generals, secretaries, treasurers, revenue agents, judges, architects, engineers, doctors, historians, language interpretators. You hear that? Language interpretators. That goes for you Muslims who trying to say that the Bible was tampered with, like we didn't have interpreters who could interpret the Bible from the Hebrew and the Greek to now what we know as English. Language interpreters, mathematicians, jewelers, sculptors, masons, carpenters, painters of art, goldsmiths, leather workers, potters, armourers, saddlers, blacksmiths, agriculturists, etc. So you see, we were and still are a prestigious people. So don't let anybody let you think that you are just a bunch of Negroes in Africa swinging from vines until the Caucasians came and civilized you and showed you the way to, be civilized and so forth. That's not the case. Yeah. Now, let me jump back to the book of Lamentations, chapter 2 and verse 3. Listen to this. Lamentation, chapter 2, verse 3, and it reads, "He has cut off in his fierce anger all the horn of Israel." Now, it says all the horn of Israel. Remember, a horn is a symbolized to strength. An animal with a horn pushes. That's a symbol of strength, yeah? And power. Listen to this, yeah? He has cut off in his fierce anger all the horn, all the strength, all the horn of Israel. He has drawn back his right hand from before the enemy. Where his hand was upon the enemy, now his hand's upon us. Because why? We have forsook the covenant that we made with him. He has drawn back his right hand from before the enemy. He has turned against Jacob like a flaming fire, which devoureth round about. Yeah? So, that's what has happened to us. Let's jump to Lamentations chapter 2, verse 4. He has bent his bow like an enemy. He stood with his right hand as an adversary and slew all that were pleasant to the eye in the tabernacle of the daughter of Zion. He poured out his fury like fire. Verse 5 of Lamentation chapter 2. The Lord Yahweh was an enemy. He has swallowed up Israel. He has swallowed up all her palaces. He has destroyed his he has destroyed his strongholds and has increased in the daughter of Judah mourning and lamentation. This is why we now hands up and don't shoot. Black lives matter. No justice, no peace. We are in mourning. Yeah, the Most High has did it to us. Why? For disobedience, for not keeping to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. And with having faith in the one they call Yahushai, the one they call Christ, which his correct Hebrew name is Yahushai. Lamentations chapter 2, verse 6. Watch this, yeah? He has violently taken away his tabernacle, as if it were of a garden. He has destroyed his places of the assembly. The Lord Yahweh has caused the solemn feasts and Sabbath to be forgotten in Zion, and has despised in the indignation of his anger the king and the priests. So you see that? Showing you that this is why now we keep Sunday worship. Those are in Christianity who call themselves Christians. Those are in Muslim. They keep the Friday worship. You see? The Bible clearly shows that we would forget the Sabbaths and the solemn feast days, which were like Passover, Feast of Unleavened Bread, Pentecost, and and all the other feast days that the Most High gave us. Feast of Weeks, and all that, tabernacles and all that. We don't know them. What we know now, Christmas, Easter, Lent, Valentine's, and all these things, which are pagan worship days. So you see, we have left off the habitation of good, and now we've taken on all the customs of the other nations. So from that, we now, for not keeping the commandments of the Most High, he's taken us from heaven, meaning rulership, down to hell, meaning a lower state in servitude, serving other nations for everything, where we was once an industrial people, had our own everything, that we were self-sufficient. Now we have to rely on other nations, who hate us. Now watch this. I'm going to jump to the book of Isaiah, chapter 5 and verse 13 to 14. Listen to this. Isaiah chapter 5 verse 13, and it reads, "Therefore my people are gone into captivity, because they have no knowledge." Hear that? That's why. Because we have no knowledge, Listen to this. "And their honorable men are famished, and their multitude dried up with thirst." What's the thirst we're dried up with? Because we're keeping all these other things of the other nations. We're drinking the water of the other nations, of the heathen. So we're going to constantly be thirsty, when what we are supposed to be drinking, this water, the living water that's contained in the Bible, the scriptures, that's contained in here. This is the water that if we were drinking, we would never thirst, because we'd be wise than any nation on the planet. But because we forsook the Most High, he now has forsaken us. Now watch this, Watch this. For that, I'm going to jump back to Isaiah 5, 13 into 14. I'm going to read it right through to show you something. Watch this. Isaiah chapter 5, verse 13, from the top again. "Therefore my people are gone into captivity, because they have no knowledge, and their honorable men are famished, and their multitude dried up with thirst." Listen to this. Verse 14. "Therefore," so because of that, "therefore hell has enlarged herself, and opened her mouth without measure." Hear that? So we've gone into captivity, and all kind of things are now happening to us without measure. "And their glory and their multitude and their pomp, and he that rejoiceth shall descend into it." So see that? So showing you that our multitude, all the whole 12 tribes, our glory, all the glory that we had and all that, our multitude, our pomp, our pride, and and our rejoicing, we've now descended into hell, into servitude, into slavery. Now watch this. I'm going to jump to the book of Azariah, chapter 1. I'm going to take it at verse 66 into 67. This is when Daniel, this is a continuation of Daniel, which was removed out of the King James Bible. This is when Daniel and, Daniel, Meshach, and Abednego, which they named them differently, which their names were something different, and this is the name that they were named, if I'm saying it right way around. Somebody can correct me on that, because I really just want to get to the point I want to make here. Now, this is when they were put into the furnace, and then, Nebuchadnezzar's looked, the king has looked and realized there's a fourth one in there, and they've been saved out of the furnace, the fiery furnace. Now, watch this, Prayer of Azariah, chapter 1, verse 66. "O Ananias, Azariah and Mishael, bless ye the Lord Yahweh, praise and exalt him above all forever." Here we go, listen. "For he has delivered us from hell." See that? The condition they were in. He has delivered us from hell, and saved us from the hands of death, and delivered us out of the midst of the furnace, and burning flame, even out of the midst of the fire he has delivered us. "Oh, give thanks unto the Lord Yahweh, because he is gracious, for his mercy endureth forever." See, just want to show you there again. Hell is a condition. Now watch this. I'm going to jump to the book of Jonah, chapter 2, verses 1 into 2. Listen to this. Jonah chapter 2, verse 1. "Then Jonah prayed unto the Lord Yahweh, his power, out of the fish's belly." Verse 2, "And said, I cried by reason of mine affliction," of my condition, of mine affliction, "unto the Lord Yahweh, and he heard me. Out of the belly of hell cried I, and thou heardest my voice." You see that? Showing you that, once again, hell is a condition. Just like heaven, you're in rulership, but then you're being brought down to hell. Watch this. And this happened to the king of Babylon. I'm going to show you that. Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 11. I'll take it at verse 11. Listen to this. Isaiah chapter 14 verse 11. And it reads, thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy victuals. The worm is spread under thee, and the worm cover thee. Verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nations? Verse 13. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. Verse 14. I will ascend above the heights of the cloud. I will be like the Most High. Verse 15. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell. You see that? So you was in heaven, you brought down to hell. You was in rulership, now you're brought down to the lowest part you could ever be. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. Verse 16, listen to this. They that see thee, that's been brought down from rulership, down to hell, they that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee, and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? See that? Is this the man that was ruling, that had everybody under servitude? Now he's brought down to the lowest part. He's brought down to hell. Just showing you there again, hell is a condition, not a place. Watch this, yeah? I'm going to jump to the book of Psalms, chapter 9, verses 16 to 17. Listen to this. Psalms, chapter 9, verse 16, and it reads, the Lord is known by the judgment which he executeth. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. Selah. Listen to this, verse 17. The wicked shall be turned into hell, and all the nations that forget the Most High. See that? So you're going to go down to, this is how we got there, because we forgot the Most High. How did we forget him? We started to go away from his laws, statutes, commandments, and keep the laws and all the shall we say, all the things of the heathens. We took on their customs and took on their laws. Not saying, obviously, in the land that you live, you also have to abide with their laws, but you still put the Most High God laws above all, because if you're keeping the Most High God laws, you would be in line with the laws of the land anyway. Yeah, you would not be transgressing anyway. Yeah, watch this. The book of Psalms, chapter 86, verses 12 to 13, and it reads, Psalms 86, verse 12. I will praise thee, O Lord Yahweh, my power, with all my heart, with all my mind, and I will glorify thy name forevermore. Watch this, verse 13. For great is thy mercy towards me, and thou hast delivered my soul from the lowest hell. See that? So you've come out of hell, where we are now. So this is nice to end with, as near enough, because I'm almost out of time. Showing that it's only the Most High that can deliver us out of the lowest hell. We are now in the lowest hell because we were taken in the transatlantic slave trade, the sub-Saharan slave trade, where the Arabs took us first into captivity under the sub-Saharan slave trade. Then came the transatlantic slave trade, where now the Europeans shipped around the world in Europe and dropped off the Caribbean and America, France, and all these other, into slavery. So now we're at the lowest part of hell, but the Most High will deliver us out of that. All those that keep the commandments of the Most High and having faith in Yahushua. Because remember what Yahushua said. And actually, you know what? I'm going to end with this one. I'm almost out of time. Watch this. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 19 and verse 16, and it reads, and behold, one came and said unto him, Good master, what good thing shall I do that I may have eternal life? What good thing should I do? May I, going into eternal life, rulership into heaven, basically salvation. That's what that's talking about. Listen to this. Verse 17, and he said unto him, now red letters, this is Yahushua speaking, why callest thou me good? There is none good but one, that is the Most High. But if thou wilt hear that, but if thou wilt enter into life, keep the commandments. It's that clear cut. That's what you got to do. Keep the commandments. Obviously, now with faith of Yahushua, because we no longer do animal sacrifice. So now we, he was our sacrifice, or is. And if we fall short, we now have grace, where we now can repent and change from all our wicked way, from not keeping the commandments to keeping them, but we must learn them. So there, I'm almost out of time. I just want to show you there, hell is a condition, not a place. We are the real Israelites, the blacks, the Hispanics, and the Native Americans. We're in hell right now because we're the ones that get judged unfairly in this kingdom for everything. All the laws that were put in place, remember, they came in predating slavery, so they were put in to keep us at the bottom. But Yahweh Ratazar in that day, if I'm of that number and all the others, that's around me, Yahweh Ratazar, we're of that number, will make the kingdom, will be from hell back into heaven, and that which is rulership. So I think I made my point. I've timed out anyway. With that, this is Yasharallah. We out.